Very well, welcome back to Let's Play Dark Souls. Last time we completed the tutorial, the Undead Asylum. We are now arrived in Lordran, specifically in Firelink Shrine. Today we will look around Firelink Shrine, see what there is to see, learn what there is to learn, and head from this bonfire, which we started nearby, and to the next one, which is over there. All the way over there. Oh well. So as we begin, if we rest at this specific bonfire, you may notice that our Estus flask went up from 5 to 10. This is a special bonfire. It does give you 10 charges instead of 5, but we'll explore this concept a bit later, and we'll explain how bonfires can differ from one another, because they're not all the same. So in the bonfire, we have the option to leave, level up, kindle, or reverse hollowing. Now, kindle doesn't really do anything right now because we are hollowed. We are undead. Our face looks all like an undead. If we try to reverse our hollowing state, we have no humanity. The game does little explaining how this works, but I'll tell you how it works. Not that difficult, actually. And we can level up. You use souls to level up. I think I can do this, yeah? You require a certain amount of souls to level up to boost one of your stats. And it goes up. Every time you level up, the next level up requirement will be higher. These are the souls in your possession, this is your level. And these are all of your stats that you can level up. You can level up Vitality to get more HP, Attunement to get more, to equip more spells, Endurance to get more stamina, and to carry more heavier armor, I guess. Strength to deal more damage with your melee weapon. Dexterity is kind of the same deal, but with different kind of melee weapons. Strength is more for like heavy, big swords. Dexterity for like smaller swords. They're more like they do fast but a lot of hits. Resistance, don't bother, it's useless. Intelligence is for mages who use sorceries. Faith is for clerics who use miracles. The other character will be very interested in leveling up Faith. And that's it. These are all the stats that you can level up. And then there are other things. Humanity will explain that in a second. And then you can also check up all the other statistics that you get. But those are all... You cannot modify these. These are... Like, you get these. These are values that the game creates based on your stats and your equipment. But yeah, you can check out the explanation of those stats if you want to. I'm not gonna level up quite yet though, because I want to explore this place first. Let's see what this guy has to say.
Well, what do we have here? You must be a new arrival. Let me guess. Fate of the undead, right? Well, you're not the first. But there's no salvation here. You'd have done better to rot in the undead asylum. But too late now. Well, since you're here, let me help you out. There are, actually, 2 bells of awakening. One's up above in the undead church. The other is far, far below, in the ruins at the base of Blight Town. Ring them both, and something happens. Brilliant, right? Not much to go on, but I have a feeling that won't stop you. So, off you go. It is why you came, isn't it? To this accursed land of the undead? Ah, your face. You're practically hollow. But who knows? Going hollow could solve quite a bit. What? Restoring your humanity? Well, there are a few ways to go about it. Collect it bit by bit from corpses. Or you can butter up a cleric and get yourself summoned. And the quickest way, although I'd never do it, is to kill a healthy undead and pillage its humanity. Coveting thy neighbor is only human, after all. What are you looking at? Don't try anything clever. You might regret it. What? You want to hear more? that's all we need. Another inquisitive soul. Well, listen carefully then. One of the bells is up above in the Undead Church, but the lift is broken. You'll have to climb the stairs up the ruins and access the Undead Burg through the waterway. The other bell is back down below the Undead Burg, within the plague-infested Blight Town. But I'd die again before I step foot in that cesspool. Bloody hell, what is it now? You ask too many questions. What now? I'm not up for chatting. Leave me alone.
Okay, that's all he has to say. He now starts repeating his dialogue. So he dropped a lot of good hints there. He told us that there are actually 2 Bells of Awakening, not one as the night that Frida's told us. And then he dropped a lot of hints about game mechanics. They're very, very subtle. And that's just how this game handles this kind of things. Specific game mechanics that are not like controls, you will not really get a very throughout explanation until much later on. That guy threw in a lot of very subtle and vague hints. Anyway, there is a big pool here that has nothing in there. There is an open chest, and this is a very special chest. I don't even know if we will ever happen to use it. But basically, if you somehow lose a key item that is needed for blood progression, you can find it here. It will respawn in this chest. But normally, you will never need it. It's really hard to actually lose key items. If you try to, well, I could go this way. And there is a graveyard over there, but don't want to do anything there quite yet. This leads up here. There is a big crow. Don't worry, this guy is not an enemy. This is the crow that brought you here. Not need to attack it. Actually, if you attack it enough times, you will just fly away. Nope. You cannot kill it. It's impossible. And if you would be able to, it doesn't really give you anything. Over here, there's another Soul of Lost Undead. There are quite a few around this part. So we'll check around and see what we can find. In fact, if I go this way, there is another treasure that I can pick up, which are 6 firebombs. These are items that you can throw in, and matter of fact, I will equip them. Oh, this character, by the way, I told you this character has a lot of limitation, but like, objects such as firebombs that can be thrown are fair game for this character, no big deal. So we have a gesture menu, which we can use to do different things. This is mostly meant for multiplayer, though. This is the only way you have to communicate with other players. Speaking of multiplayer, I am playing offline, so you will not see other players doing things, or you will not see me doing other things with other players. We will get a taste of multiplayer because you can like summon NPCs to your world and get invaded by other NPCs. So we'll get a taste of what multiplayer kind of is like, but not really. Oh, well, there's another guy here. Let's talk to him.
Hello there. I believe we are not acquainted. I am Petrus of Firelink. Have you business with us? If not, I prefer to keep a distance, if possible. Hello there. I realize that I have requested that we retain our distance, but I also want you to know that it is not meant in ill will. Here, take this as a token of peace. No, go ahead. It's for you. Oh my, you again. Oh, I know. How about this? I have to await my companions here anyway. So what if I were to teach you some miracles? Would that please you? Very well. Then first, a covenant with the gods. Now let me share my miracles. Only their ultimate effectiveness will be determined by your efforts and your faith. My companions are Milady and her young knights. She is young, but burdened by an undead mission. We are her defenses, to keep her from harm. An undead mission? Regrettably, I cannot share that with you. But you are my pupil. Perhaps if you show your faith. I'm afraid that may be difficult, for our missions are sacred.
Yeah, I ain't buying info from you. Not yet, at least.
I'm afraid that may...
Okay, that's it. That's all you say? Cool. So we entered this Covenant, and Covenant are kind of like... they're mostly meant for online play. If you are like in a Covenant, then you get certain... You can do certain things to other players to earn items, and then you can trade those items for other rewards. It's mostly an online thing, though it does have some use in single player as well. But for right now, it doesn't really matter what Covenant I am in, so it's fine. I think I'm in the Weight of the White right now.
The effectiveness of the teachings depend upon your faith.
You can check your Covenant from the status screen over here, I think. Yeah, right there under my username, Way of White. Yeah, so talk to him again.
I will teach.
Teach you miracles, sure. So this guy can teach you miracles. He's got Seek Guidance, which will actually buy this with the other character for a certain reason. It does show you hidden things, but we'll talk about it later. He has a talisman for which we can use to cast miracles, but this is a waste. Do not buy it. Okay, and that's it. That's all for Peter Zastorlund, but we will learn more about him as we move on with the plot of the game, because we will return to this place periodically, so we'll have to check on him as well. So there's no Soul of a Lost Undead here. Now, I believe we will make this jump over here. By the way, the game did not tell us how to jump, and it does not tell you whatsoever how to jump. Which is weird, because jumping is really important in some cases. I don't think it is ever required for you to know how to jump. But it is actually very useful to know how to jump. But the way you jump, you can't really jump. This is not like a knees game or whatever, or like a... Yeah, you do this little hop. The way you do it is that you sprint, then you release circle, and you tap it again, and there you go. You do this little hop, which can get you in certain areas, like up here. You have to do a little hop. So it can be useful on certain occasions. We will have to use it soon to make a little jump to another platform. I don't think it is ever required. But I might be wrong, but I don't think it is ever required. Like anything you can do. Like there might be some places where you will not be able to access without jumping, but they only contain optional items that they're not required to finish the game. Down here, there's a little secret area which does have a few things. The Omor Bones are very useful. They will teleport you to the last bonfire that you rested at. They work everywhere, even if you're fighting a boss, so that's cool. Morning Star and a Talisman, that's why I told you that the Talisman is completely pointless to buy from that guy. The other Mace is another weapon that we cannot use because this character is restricted to basic weaponry. The Cracked Ride Orb instead are online items. They will allow you to invade other players' world and try to kill them to gain souls and whatnot. And light talismans are pretty weird. They will stop Estus healing in a certain area, so you cannot use Estus, but neither can your enemies. Now, if you go down here, you can see that I woke up these guys. Now, these skeletons are pretty strong, even though they don't seem like they are, but they are. If you try to go through that graveyard, as many other players did on their first run, not me, you will get annihilated. Unless you know what you're doing. Even if you know what you're doing, like me, they can still destroy you. And that should be a clear hint that you should not go that way. That is the wrong way. You should come back when you have better equipment and better stats and whatnot. If we go down here, though, there is this person. No response. She cannot speak. We can reinforce Estus Flux with this person, but we need a Firekeeper soul, and we don't have that yet. We cannot talk to her because she cannot speak, so we just leave for now. We can go further down, though. There's something we can check out over here. Keep going all the way down here, there is a elevator, which will bring us further down. And down here, we will arrive in a completely new area. We can get, let's see, Soul of a Nameless Soldier. This gives us a little bit more souls than the previous soul items that we picked up, so that's good. And there are some dudes here that you can pop for some extra souls. And I suggest you do that, because they will attack you. These guys will actually attack you, and this guy is the Draw Me Like a French Girl guy. Yeah, so I suggest you go ahead and kill these guys. They're very easy to give you some extra souls that you can work with. You go over here, door locked. Can't do anything with that yet. We'll have to keep that in the back of our heads. You will find a lot of stuff like that early in the game, like doors that you cannot open, paths that are locked, and you have to kind of keep them in mind for later. If you're stuck, you just go check those doors that you could not open before. See if maybe you picked up a key for them, maybe you have activated a switch that, opened them and whatnot. Now here I might actually talk about a bit of kind of hidden mechanic the game does not tell you about this, which is the overkill. All these guys have been giving me 20 souls. Look at this guy now. I'm gonna wait. Parry. This should give me 24 souls. Yep, right on point. The reason why that happens is because of the overkill mechanic, and I think the way it works is that you get 40% more souls when you deal the final blow, you do damage that is higher than 40% of the enemy's total HP, which with a parry is easily obtainable. That is a weapon that will not be able to use as a kind of a even lighter sword. You stab with that sword instead of slashing it. And we keep going down here. I can kick this guy down if I can hit it. There we go. See, the kick is very useful to do that, but it doesn't really do anything else. There's a corpse here, but I won't pillage it for a good reason. And that it doesn't like trigger a trap or anything. I just want to keep this item over here. If you try to go that way, you will die, because there are ghosts. They do a lot of damage, and you cannot attack them because they're ghosts. You cannot attack them. You will face through their attacks, but they will hit you. So don't do that. And now we clear this area, so we can just go back up. And I can actually show you something in the item menu. So we have humanity. Rare tiny black sprite found on corpses, used to gain 1 humanity, restore a large amount of HP. Actually, all of your HP. This black sprite is called humanity, but little is known about its true nature. If the soul is the source of all life, then what distinguishes the humanity world within ourselves? I do not know where I'm going. Hang on a sec. Because I can kind of see where I'm going, but I have this thing opened up. So the way humanity works is that you can use it to gain humanity. And then we'll add up to that number that is now 0 on the top left. And that will give you a tiny bit more defense, but it will drastically boost your item discovery, which is basically the drop rate of enemies. If we use all 4 of them, then we'll have a 4. The drop rate of enemies is now drastically increased. But now that we have humanity, we can actually reverse Halloween and become human. Now we restored our human form. This is the only way to engage in online activity. If you're not human, you will not engage in online activity. You're, for all intents and purposes, offline. That also means that you will not be able to participate in the NPC's online activity that I mentioned, but we'll talk about it later. But yeah, that is how you become human. And now we're actually able to kindle the bonfire, but not really. That one is already maxed out as for right now. Anyway, can't go through the graveyard. I mean, we could, but it's very hard. Cannot go down because there are ghosts and the locked door. So the only way forward is this way. Also, a really good property about parries and critical hits from behind is that you are 100% invulnerable during their animation. You are vulnerable as soon as you snap out of it, though, so you gotta keep that in mind. Wait for this guy to throw. We'll dodge you. We'll probably stab you from behind. Yeah, that started a bit too late. That was not invulnerable during the startup, unfortunately. Fall down, please. Okay, you do that. We'll go for this guy in the meantime. But these are really the first batch of enemies that you really need to start paying attention. They seem easy. I made them seem quite easy. But for a first time, they might not. You might have to take multiple tries to kill them. It's fine, though. It is fine. By the way, if you die, we haven't seen that yet, but if you die, you go back to your previous to the last bonfire that you rested at, and if you were human, you become hollow again. So if you want to become human again, you'll have to spend another humanity. And this is what I was talking about, little hops guaranteeing us access to certain areas. Also, when you die in Dark Souls, like in the previous game, the Demon Souls, and pretty much in all Souls games, I think, you will leave behind a bloodstain, which contains all of your souls and your humanity. In fact, anytime you die, you will lose all of your souls, which are in the bottom right, and all the humanity that you have in the top left. If you lose all of it, they stay at the place where you died. You can go back there and retrieve them, but if you die before reaching them, they're gone for good, because you'll leave another bloodstain. Okay. We actually grabbed everything that we could have grabbed right now. Let me go over here. We got a new enemy type. This is a rat. But no big deal. One strong attack kills it. Notice I have not leveled up yet. This is just my basic character. I haven't leveled up yet. I'm still having no issues whatsoever. I will level up, I think, next time. When we get to the next bonfire. Then we'll be able to talk a bit more about stats and what I should level up for my build. As for now, if you're new to this game, let me give you some advice on how to handle these fights here. You're either gonna get good at doing backstabs, because they're very efficient. If you're not good at doing backstabs, because I wasn't on my first playthrough, here's what you do. Let them attack, and then attack back. Play it like this. Play it safe. Do not spam attacks. Let them hit your shield. They will be knocked back and you'll get your window to attack. There's also an inbuilt damage boost. If an enemy gets staggered because it hits your shield, if you attack them immediately after, you get I think it's a 30% damage boost? I'm not sure, but hey, it's a dragon. Not really technically a dragon, though. That is a drake, but we'll learn more about that drake later on. Like I said, let them hit your shield. See, that did 56. Now, let's see a normal attack that did 40. Yep, there is a damage boost for enemies that are staggered because they hit your shield. So again, let them hit your shield and attack back. I think, ow, there is a guy shooting. It's up there, so I might as well take care of him. I can open this door, though. I can get the shield, though it will not change from the shield that I currently have. This shield is actually worse. It doesn't block all the damage when it's hit, so this guy takes a bit more to kill, but that's fine. Now, we'll go over here. We have these dudes. These dudes are new enemy type. They don't really attack that often. That one did, but if you know how to kick, you can just kick away their shields. Okay, wait up. Wait my stamina to recharge. Okay. These guys are very good at exploiting your vulnerabilities. Like, if you miss an attack, they will definitely attack you back. If you attack them and they block, they will attack you back. But they usually will almost never attack on their own. Go down here, and we go... Well, let's do this one first. There is a guy over there. We'll do that, try to surprise you, but you are ready. You will not find yourself unprepared. And if you go over here...
Well now,
You seem to have your wits about you, hmm? Then you are a welcome customer. I trade for souls. Everything's for sale. Things are getting treacherous in these parts. A horrible goat demon has moved in below. And up above, there's that humongous drake and a bull demon too. If you stick around this place, it might end up being your grave. Here, I'm not here to chit-chat. We talk business or we talk nothing at all. Here, I'm
Okay, that's all he has to say. So now, he has several items to purchase, but what I want to buy especially is the residence key, because I will need this later. The bottomless box is basically a deposit that you can carry around and do a bonfire. You can just sort your inventory. It is not required actually, because you can hold as many things as you want. But
Thank you kindly.
you can use it to do some inventory management. Anyway, if you keep going this way, there's actually a little side area with some more enemies. Here is a good example of you do not want to rush into areas, because you fighting one enemy is fine. Fighting 2 might be fine. Fighting 3 can become trouble, even for experienced players. So here's a good rule for Dark Souls, if you just started. Lure out enemies, one by one. Try to go for 1v1 if you can. Unless you're really good at the game and know what you're doing. But if you don't, just try to go 1v1. If you have a bow and arrows, just shoot an arrow to aggro an enemy, then kill it. Shoot an arrow at the second enemy, kill it, and keep going. Keep that in mind, because it will be something that you will keep doing over and over. So if we jump over here, we can retrieve a kind of useless item, but we will retrieve it nonetheless. Like crossbow and some bolts. I can show you how sucky the crossbow is, just for laughs, because it really sucks. Like crossbow, put some bolts in there. Okay, so here's the crossbow. It is probably the worst weapon type in the entire game. Actually, not now, because I have some enemies that will assault me in a second. Actually, I don't know if there are any enemies I can... Oh, well, actually, there are 2 enemies here. I can use the other one to show it. Okay. Okay, hit me. See that recharge time? That sucks. Like, you shoot your bolt pretty fast, but then you have to recharge. And that takes forever. And you cannot do anything during that time. You're stuck. You just have to wait it out, and then enemies just hit you. Enemies can just hit you. And that is not a good thing. Just remove it. Never use crossbows. They suck. I never really found a good way to use them. Like, bows are much better. For several reasons. Anyway. Now we keep going, and there are some hollows just chilling here. You can actually hit them. They will fall down, maybe. There we go. And they give you easy kills. This guy came up, but that's fine. We just slashed a couple times. There's one behind me, I think. Yep. Pick up the rubbish. We'll be able to use the rubbish eventually, not now. It doesn't do anything, but we can actually trade it with a certain NPC later on. We keep going. Up here. We kind of came full circle. And we can now finally grab this item. Which is humanity. Which I think I will just use to get my drop rate up. Why not? It'll heal me off too. Because Olo really wanted to look at me consuming the humanity, but that's fine. So about the drop rate, it does stop at 10. So after 10 humanities, your drop rate will not increase anymore. Some claim that it does, but just stop at 10, and you'll be fine. If you go this way, you will find a bonfire, and this is where we'll stop with the warrior, because that's a good stopping point. The next time we will level up and do some things, and then probably finish this area and reach the next bonfire. We'll see what we can head next time. But it's time to see what the other character can do. See over or to the other side. And we are back with the Cleric, our other character. Now, we're not gonna lose any time and just do what we need to do here. So with the warrior we explored Firelink Shrine, right? We're gonna do the same with this character. We'll just go around Firelink, we'll grab all the goodies. Remember, there are fire bombs over here, and there are some souls that we will pick up. This character has the master key, the key that opens all locks. It doesn't really open all locks, but most of them. There are some doors that cannot be opened by the master key. But yeah, let's just say that a good amount of doors can be opened with the master key. So we'll do this little hop again. We will raid Firelink Shrine from all the goodies, and then we will proceed on doing a little trick that is pretty well known among Dark Souls players. If you want to do it, do it. It can help you, because it boosts your damage quite a bit. I could have done it with a warrior, but wasn't really going to do it anyway. It will give me a chance to talk about another mechanic. Required stats to wield weapons. But we'll go down here, we'll grab the Onward Bones. We don't need Lloyd Talisman. Well, actually, we might do need Lloyd Talisman. Here we have the mace, right? Yeah, we'll pick up this Morning Star, and might come in handy. We might use it. The talisman in that chest is actually worse than our talisman, so yeah, that's don't even... no point in using it. We'll pick up the Lloyd Talisman. We woke up the skeletons, but that's fine. We just run around. As long as we keep moving, we should be fine. And we're just gonna rush to... do the bonfire. If they get too close to the bonfire will be disabled until we kill them, but we should be able, or not. They are too close, apparently. Where are they? I cannot rest at this, so they must be close. Yeah, they're over here. Aren't they? Wasn't they retreating? Oh well. Guess he'll die. Guess you'll die, Mr. Skeleton. Yeah, you see how much it took for us to kill that one guy. That should tell you that they are not meant to be fought now. Anyway, we go down. We have this path here that we can follow. Remember, there's an elevator down here. Oh, there are actually two tricks that we will do right now. One is kind of tricky, actually. We'll see if I can make it work. It requires the Onward Bones that we picked up. We'll hopefully won't have to use them, but I mean, we'll hopefully get it on the first try. Got soul of a nameless soldier. Now, first thing we gotta do, with the master key only, go over here and open this door. Right here, large soul of a nameless soldier. This gives a lot of souls, a lot more than the soul items that we picked so far. And when you go this way, there's this bridge. This is a very late game area. Well, kind of like mid-late, I guess. And over there's this big undead dragon that is just sitting there doing nothing. Now, you can steal some of the items that it is guarding. You can steal this item over here. If you don't touch it, just very quickly, but you slowly approach it. Get a big soul of a proud knight, and then you can steal the item on the left if you're very careful. Not the one on the right. If you get the one on the right, he wakes up. Okay. So what we picked up is a Stora Straight Sword. Now, Stora Straight Sword is pretty powerful for this point in the game. But in order to equip it, if we look at... sorry, equipment. What is it? If you look at required parameters on the right tab, it says 10 strength, 10 dexterity, and 14 faith. Those are the required stats that you need to have in order to use it. If you don't have those stats, you can equip it, but it won't work as well. as it should. We only need 10 dexterity, because it's in red, that means we don't have that. In fact, we have 8. We will keep that in mind, because we will level up a couple dexterity so we can wield it. And use that because our mace kind of sucks. Speaking of, kind of want to switch out of that. Well, I'll have to kill some of these dudes over here. There is an NPC that I forgot to talk to while I was here with the warrior. Might as well talk to him now.
Well, this is unusual. You haven't lost your head. And more importantly, you're free. How on earth? Well, I shouldn't pry. I'm Ricky of Vinheim. I was once an established smith, though. Look at me now. Can you believe it? What is it? Have you? Oh no. Don't worry. I've no intention of escape. It's safe here. I can't bear the thought of going hollow out there. Although, I must admit, I've not much to occupy myself. How about this? I could forge your weapons, albeit with rather minimal tools. I'll show you what made me the best in Vinheim.
So this is our first smith of the game, and you can do some basic stuff like reinforcing weapons, armor, and repair your equipment. You can buy some spells out of him, but they are kind of overpriced, so don't do that unless you really need to. We'll talk to him a few times though, see what he can say to us.
What is it? There's nothing to talk about. We're both cursed, undead. But what's there really to moan about? What is it? There's nothing to talk
Okay,
about.
that's it. Okay, that's all he says. So we're just gonna wipe out these guys to form the additional souls. Let's see if I can get the two-hand riposte. There it is. There's a very specific time that you need to wait after doing the parry. You do the parry. Let's see. Do the parry. You switch to two-hand, you wait a certain amount of time. It is very specific, but there's this little delay that you need to have. And then if you do that, you can two-hand riposte, which does more damage than a normal riposte, but yeah, I'm not gonna waste my time doing that on every one of these guys. I'll take too much time when I can just pop them with one two-handed hit. And sure, I get like 4 less souls, but whatever, it's not gonna matter. In the long run, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so now that we killed all of these guys, the second trick that is very well known to all our Dark Souls players is to actually venture into this area that I told you. Don't go in here, you will die. We only grab one item, then we'll onward bound back to the bonfire. As soon as you go over here, you find your first ghost. Just run. You're not gonna win. You go over here, just run straight. See that item? Just run straight. There is a path. Very hard to see. Just grab this item. Onward bone, yes. And if they do not attack you, because if they attack you during the animation, it'll cancel out. If they do not attack you, you will be back at Firelink, and you will have your first Firekeeper soul that you can use to reinforce your Estus Flask. Go down here, talk to this person, reinforce Estus Flask, and now our Estus Flask is a +1, which means it will heal more HP per use. That's great. We need all the help we can, right? Alright, we have to level up, I forgot about that. So we will pick up... is it 2 dex, right? We'll increase our dex by 2, which will allow us to wield the sword. Cool. We have a bunch of soul items, actually. Let's use the Silver Proud Knight. We stole this one from the dragon. That's 2k right there. Now those will give us 400. 800, okay. The Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Another 800. The soul of the large soul of a nameless soldier we picked up after the door that was locked. Another 1,000. That's great. And then with 5k souls in hand, we might as well. You know what? I'll pop my 4 humanities too, and become human. Actually, no, I don't want to become human, because that will expand 1 humanity. I don't want to do that yet. I want my drop rate with this character to be as high as possible for a certain amount of time. Eventually, we will just switch back to human. We'll use 1 humanity, but I want to wait to have a bit more than just 4 units. Anyway, there is a Ring of Sacrifice over there. We picked it up, but I don't think I need it. I mean, it is useful, because if you die, you kind of don't lose anything, and you will just lose a ring instead of losing the souls. And it is useful for something later, but I don't know, I'll probably just pick it up another time when I'm here. Again, we will return many times in this area, so not really that much of... There really isn't that much of a point doing it. Anyway, you see how the sword really is destroying these guys. We're doing way more damage than the warrior. And we didn't really do anything weird. Like, we just add the master key. That's all we needed. This rat can actually drop humanity if you're lucky. I was hoping for that, but nope. Didn't get that lucky, unfortunately. Oh well. Anyway, go up here. We'll do pretty much what the warrior did, except just faster, because that's who we are. Okay, we will do this area immediately. Why not? Loot what there is to loot. There is another soul over here. Okay, now there should be an undead waiting for me over here. There he is. Boop. Couple more dudes over here. Just wait for them. Strong attack. 1 is down. And again, I will just let them hit my shield. I could parry them. I could do that, but I don't really have a reason to do that. Just one normal R1 attack kills them. There really is nothing that I should... there's no reason why I should make my life more complicated, right? I mean, and the reason why this sword is very powerful is it because it's doing not just physical damage, but it's also doing some magical damage. It has some special properties imbued in it. Yeah, 97. 138 with a strong attack. That's how powerful this thing is. So we lost Undead. I think I want to go to the Merchant too and pick up the Resident Scheme. By the way, this dragon, there's no way you can hurt you, because try as you might, the game will just stop you from getting hurt. See, this game is easy. Won't even allow you to get hit by the Drake. I think I called it a dragon before. Oh well. Oh well. Mistakes were made. Now these guys will kick and hit. If you know how to kick, these guys are easy. Or you can hit their shield and then... Boom. 306. That's, I think, the highest number we've seen so far. And I could have two-end reposted that, but I didn't. Come over here. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Yeah, okay. I suck at... I actually suck at reposting very low enemies. I don't know why. Oh well. We will just purchase the Residence Key for now, as we did with the other character. That's it for now. Yeah, whatever. I got places to be. Gotta use my heal. Get back the elf I lost. That's fine. Ooh, okay. That's fine. We just go hit once. No big deal. Come over here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you'd please move a bit faster, that'd be great. And then we're just gonna run and... Ooh! Okay. See, this is what happens when you try to go fast. This is a good example. When you try to go fast, even if you play this game a lot of times, that will happen. The game will hit you and remind you that you're not supposed to mess around. And if you really want to mess around, you gotta be prepared. And plus, now that I'm doing a Let's Play, I'm like... I'm not like in my super comfort zone because I'm doing commentary, right? So I will make mistakes, and I hope I will make mistakes, so that you can see how punishing is to make mistakes in Dark Souls, because that's what Dark Souls is all about. Dark Souls is not hard; it is punishing. It will punish you for being reckless. But anyway, we arrived at the same point that the warrior did, and we'll see you all next time on Dark Souls, where we will explore further within the Undead Burg. See you all in the next video.